everyone. Larry Gordon here with Esther Gordon. And this is Between the Lines, the electronic version of the Five Towns Jewish Times, our weekly podcast. Today we don't have a guest, but we have a subject that we want to discuss.
Yes, we do.
Yes, I think you got to get closer to that mic. You can move yours closer.
I could move my mic closer.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. The Five Towns Jewish Times, we got into a little bit of a...
hot water?
No, I wouldn't call it hot water.
No, it's not hot water.
No,
right.
It was very interesting. It was important. It was exciting. It was compelling.
I think it was disappointing for me.
We'll get to that in a minute.
You speak your part, I'll speak mine.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and you're going to say what
I'll
you're going to
say.
say.
What I'll say. Right.
That's how it usually works.
Right. Well, hopefully.
Okay. So anyway, as you know, as some of you know, we ran an ad 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago. That was in August. For those of you that are seeing this in September, October, or November, we ran an ad for an advertiser. Innocently, there happened to be a cannabis store in Rosedale, I think.
Right.
And in Hempstead is where the location. They have two locations. Very nice people, and apparently the reaction to it was very surprisingly very, very, very negative.
Which was pretty shocking because the Five Towns had a cannabis store for about 5 years. Nobody ever said anything about this store. And I guess we didn't even think about it. We got the ad, we put it in without thinking. When somebody kind of notified us that maybe it's
not something
that should be in the paper, we immediately
that a family newspaper should be featuring.
And then we said,
I have to let me back up for a second.
Okay.
First of all, just because we advertise something doesn't mean that we're endorsing it. Okay, there are a lot of things in the newspaper that
we don't endorse.
Like I said, I illustrated it this week in my column. I said, just because Land Rover Freeport advertises in the paper on a regular basis doesn't mean that the Five Towns Jewish Times is advocating or encouraging or endorsing.
And God forbid if
Land
somebody
Rover.
is in an accident.
Someone gets into an accident with a Land
Rover, it shouldn't be on me.
It shouldn't be on us.
No.
That might be a far-fetched type of...
No, things like that have happened to us.
Example, you might say. You got to talk into your mic.
Things like that have happened to us.
Yes, I don't want to get into it too much.
Let's not get into it.
We will get into it in the course of this conversation. But we stopped running the ad as of this week. We told the person who runs the business that it's not an ad that we can run in the paper. And it happens very infrequently that I come across an advertiser that advertises in such a fashion that's something that I have to reject. I have to tell you, there was another ad. I didn't reject the ad, but we had an ad for a couple of weeks of Birthright Israel. Okay, now Birthright Israel is a great thing. They brought over 1 million young people to Israel over the last 10 years. Anyway, I think they were celebrating the millionth person they were bringing to Israel. And they sent us a few ads to rotate on a weekly basis. Now, one of the ads featured 3 young women that were very... not dressed.
Not dressed appropriately for our paper.
Very scantily dressed. And I told him that I don't think it's a good idea to run this ad, especially in our market. Maybe in another market it would make sense, but not in our market. And they understood, and they sent us 2 other ads to run. So something like that. Maybe when I saw the word cannabis, I wasn't conscious of the fact, considering the fact that there was a store in Cedarhurst for the last few years, and no one said anything about it. We got letters from people, mostly understanding, asking us to think about it.
Right.
Second time if we're going to run it.
Right.
But I think, and people understood when we explained to them that we weren't conscious of the possibility that it was.
That it's hurtful to certain people, and that, okay, you're right. That's okay. That's okay.
But I think what your problem is that you want
My
to
problem was reaction.
Okay, now your problem...
And I'd like to discuss
your
the
problem.
reaction.
Your reaction was people that As soon as they smell something,
There's a
that
lynching.
may not be a little bit kosher, they want to knock the whole paper out of business.
They kind of said that, by the way. I didn't make that up. One person said they have to pay. Don't bring the paper in if it's so offensive to you. What do you mean I have to pay? You know, the reaction was so hateful, and from people that I know, and that wasn't my problem. Okay. If people want to be hateful, that's okay. My problem is I have a WhatsApp group. I have my own WhatsApp group, and I'm very conscious of what I post there. Now, I'm shocked after notifying the person, the administrator of this WhatsApp, who, by the way, never allows anything political in there. When I notified
I think
her,
you could identify. Which
I'm not
WhatsApp
even.
group
I
it
don't
was.
even want to give her the
notoriety
because it's only a few hundred people that follow that WhatsApp.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is, when we notified her and say, "That's odd. Why would you want to put such lashon hara and hateful things? Why don't you just take it down? If anybody wants to have a gripe against it, call me. You have my number. Everybody has our number. In fact, there was one guy that I know is problematic because every time anything goes on in the neighborhood, he's just there, always coming out against everybody. He has psychological problems. There's nothing I could do about it. But
you can diagnose.
I'm not going to diagnose, but when somebody reacts like that, I think they have deep problems.
My cell phone number is in the paper.
Well, he mentioned that.
Anybody could call me at any time, day and night. I don't even turn the phone off at night. And people.
And somebody did call you, and we were thankful
to
that.
People are respectful. They don't call me. People that want to say something, that's something important to say. They don't call me after 7 or 8 o'clock.
It wasn't. No. You see how the wrong. They didn't. You know what? It was just something to yell about. There are people that are haters, and there's nothing I could do about that. They'll look for any excuse. There are those people that will sue everybody. That's not my problem. My problem was that it was allowed to go on a WhatsApp group more than once, and this is blatant lashon hara. And after saying, why are you doing that? I mean, I could never post anything political on that WhatsApp group, but there was no problem. That was my problem.
Okay, you don't want to identify what group it is.
No, I don't.
A small group.
Why would I even give them
the notoriety?
No, definitely not.
I understand that. But you know what? It was a mistake to run it because I was not
conscious.
I was not conscious of actually
the issue,
the influence and the power that the paper has. I was telling someone the other night that the flip side of all this is, it's a responsibility that we have about what gets published in terms of stories.
Absolutely.
What gets placed in terms of ads. I have to tell you that very often I don't get a chance to see the paper in its entirety until it comes out on Thursday morning.
Right. Well, you look through it quickly.
Yeah, but then I flip through
online,
it because sometimes I'm looking for some things to make sure that no one
it
missed
got
it.
in or it didn't get in, whatever. Right.
Or that it's in the right position, it's in the right place. Mm-hmm. But there are many, many ads, especially that I don't realize are in until I see them actually in. Now, there was additional problems with this particular person.
Right. We have to say that, exactly.
Yeah, for example, the first week, the ad ran 2 weeks. In the first week, he ran an OK symbol.
And we didn't hear anything after the first week, by the way.
Well,
nobody told us anything after the first week.
Eventually, I got an email from the OK.
Right.
That's a credible kashrus organization, as you know. And they said that their symbol is being used without authorization.
Okay.
We brought it to the person's attention that owns the
store
the
or
cannabis,
whatever, right? Business.
The cannabis emporium, and he gave some kind of lame excuse. He said that he thought the okay meant that it doesn't belong to anybody.
That it was okay.
Oh, okay means that it's okay. Okay means that it's kosher.
Okay.
But then someone sent me some of his packaging, that he sells his product in, and it had the OU on it.
Right.
And the OU protested.
Right.
Protested that.
And we
So-
realized, you know what, we were going to walk away anyway.
So yeah, this was something that we decided to walk away from after week 2, before anybody started.
Right, before we
raising-
decided we're leaving it, and then this all happened. Now, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, one more question. Besides having the store on off of Central, and nobody ever said anything,
Yeah.
there was this whole article in the Mishpacha about psychedelic drugs.
Yeah.
How if
What I do
therapy
with my phone?
is not
I
working,
have it on my phone. I don't know what I do with it.
if therapy is not working, then they advocate, and they're saying that people are doing psychedelic drugs. Now, I was horrified. First of all, that's illegal. And second of all, that's condoning. I never condoned cannabis. It was just an ad that was put in, and we apologize. But I didn't hear one word from Yeshiva World News talking about psychedelic drugs. And by the way, Yeshiva World News went out there and said that it was because of them we retracted the ad. I just wanted out there
that's not true.
that's not true.
No, it's not true.
They have never.
So in the July 22nd issue of Mishpacha magazine, Ilana Moskowitz wrote a story. It's called Mind Blown, Inside the Psychedelic Underground, where the line between breakthrough and breakdown is thinner than anyone expected, okay? Now, you got to say that could be in any magazine, but it's not. It goes as follows. I'll read a couple of lines to you. In the last few years, the world of mental health treatment has seen a quiet but powerful shift, psychedelic-assisted therapy.
We didn't know a thing about this.
For people who have struggled with deep-seated trauma or intractable emotional pain, psychedelic therapy with drugs such as psilocybin, MDMA, ketamine, and
Really?
ayahuasca, however you pronounce that, can open a door to
know.
sudden, almost miraculous healing. For some, psychedelic-assisted therapy has accomplished in 1 or 2 sessions what would have taken conventional talk therapy months or years to achieve. Okay? So then they give you some examples. For Javi, psychedelic-assisted therapy fills the space where traditional talk therapy failed. Relaxing on the couch.
Are you allowed to read the whole thing?
I'm not reading the whole thing.
Okay.
Relaxing on the couch on a hoodie and a snood. Javi looks every bit the type Hasidic wife and mother. Her easy smile draws you in, and her quick, inviting laugh gives her an air of effortless friendship. Nothing in her demeanor hints at the dysfunction of her childhood years. Anyway, so obviously she had a difficult childhood, and she is using psychedelic drug
Because regular therapy wasn't working.
wasn't working for her.
But
Now,
I didn't hear any
that's
outcry.
that's not the point. The point is that was in Mishpacha magazine.
Right.
So one person whose attention I brought it to told me that they canceled their subscription to Mishpacha after that. But I
And
didn't
I'm not
see-
coming out against Mishpacha. I was just shocked that they're able to put something like that in their magazine. And,
So the question is, are they endorsing the use of?
well, if they're putting that, it's not an ad, it's a story.
Illegal. Oh, that's even more
That's
so.
worse.
Someone in the editorial board had to make a decision
Right.
that it's okay to. The overarching complaint here is that, especially let's say with the cannabis ad, where we're letting young people know that there is such a thing out there and that it's kosher and that it can be used. And if a newspaper like the Five Towns Jewish Times features it, then it could be.
But then again,
could be
we
used.
feature tequila, we feature wine, we feature steak, we feature a lot of different things.
Listen, I know I don't lose my wine advertising.
I love
especially
wine.
With Yom Tov coming up.
No, I love wine. It's okay.
No, but listen, there is wine that's advertised. There's liquor stores that advertise in season.
That doesn't mean a 10-year-old has to go and drink.
Absolutely. And there's but when you do an editorial about psychedelic
That's already
therapy,
different than putting an ad in,
you
I
know,
think.
are these people, or is the editorial board of the magazine, are they endorsing it by virtue of the fact that they're letting people know that it exists?
By the way, I didn't know it existed.
Is that an endorsement?
Not that I'll do anything about it because I'm not interested. But
Yeah, but for, let's say,
there
for
are people that
people
it may,
struggling,
right.
people struggling with
Right.
different mental issues, and like I said in the story, talk therapy doesn't always help. How many sessions can you go to for $350 a session sometimes, not covered by insurance, and sit there for 45 minutes?
Is that what they charge?
Yeah, that's what I hear. And sit there and talk for 45 minutes with somebody once a week. And what's it going to do for you when you could have,
Well,
psychedelic?
you sound like you're kind of endorsing it, and I hope you
No,
know.
when you can have a psychedelic drug infusion, and it puts you in the right frame of mind.
But is that even legal?
Some of them are not legal. That's why they.
I guess you have to go through a doctor.
There was a story on 60 Minutes last
Right, we
week
did see it.
where they go to another country, somewhere, in
Mexico?
in the Caribbean islands, outside of Mexico, somewhere in the Caribbean islands, where they administer these psychedelic treatments, and it was mostly for military veterans who had post-traumatic stress
PTSD,
disorder,
right.
and it helped. It was very helpful to them. So whatever's troubling you, everyone has their own troubles, and everyone's troubles are serious to them.
Could I talk about another thing that is
Sure, go ahead.
troubling me this summer?
Go ahead.
Okay. So another thing that really has been troubling me is, we live in a beautiful community and everything is great. But then I hear about these cruises going to the most hateful countries around. A cruise to Turkey, to Greece, to France, going to Italy. Why would anybody in their right mind want to give them a penny?
Well,
They hate us.
Okay.
Why would anybody want to put themselves there? You want to go on a trip? Go to Israel. Or go to a country that doesn't hate you. You know what? Argentina sounds good.
you can go to Argentina, you can go to India. India has very good relationship with Israel.
Hungary.
And any place doesn't have a trouble with
But why would anybody?
Islamic,
and you know what? It's so
immigrants.
troubling to me. It's so hypocritical that it bothers me.
I see that it bothers you.
It really does,
I
and
see
not
you're-
because I
you're
couldn't go.
mentioning it, so
Not
it's
because I
bothering
couldn't
you.
go. I thought. Many years ago we went to Italy, and it was lovely. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I always planned on going back, but I wouldn't go back now.
Okay. We went to Italy. We went to France for a few
Yeah,
days on the
we
way back
did.
from Israel once.
Right.
It was also very nice.
It was beautiful.
Very nice Jewish-owned hotel.
So in France, I would go just to the La Marais area and just give the Jewish-owned businesses money if I happen to go.
Okay, but you're against the idea of cruises like
Turkey,
Turkey, for example.
It doesn't make me comfortable.
The fact of the matter, I don't know about what they got off on the boat on Turkey. In Turkey,
They did.
and they toured
They got
around
off
Turkey.
in Greece too.
But
Yeah.
but Turkey, when Iran attacked Israel earlier this summer, President Trump said that he had to convince President Erdogan
Right.
of Turkey not to join Iran in the attack on Israel because he has a lot of animosity towards Israel, Erdogan,
Right.
and he has a lot of animosity in particular to Benjamin Netanyahu.
Well, it's really Jews, but okay.
Okay, you can say that.
Yeah.
Just like Zoran Mandami, also he has a
Yeah,
problem.
this whole
It's not just-
Zionist
not just
thing
the problem,
is right.
not just the
yeah.
problem with Benjamin Netanyahu.
Netanyahu, no.
Or it's a problem with Jews. They're Jew haters.
Right.
And a lot of people think that it's in vogue. It's in style to hate Jews. No one's going to object to it too much.
No.
And more likely than not, they're going to join. They're going to join you because it's something that is popular. It's popular today to be anti-Israel, to have hostility towards Jews, and it's and in a way it's not connected to cannabis or
No, it
or
isn't. But it's
to
just a pet
marijuana.
peeve of mine this
But,
summer.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from.
During in World War II, there were 7,000 Germans that voted Hitler in
Right.
because they were very proud Germans. Well, all of them died in the camps.
Right.
They all died. So it's just a thought.
Okay, I hear you. So I think you got it off your mind.
I got it off my chest.
You got it off your chest.
Okay, hopefully.
You got it out of off your mind.
I don't know if I did.
No,
I don't know.
This will be out there, and it'll be seen, and there'll be complaints about.
I want thoughts about it. That's all I want. How do you validate? How do you justify? How do you justify
Okay,
it?
so hopefully there'll be comments
Because you
about
get
this.
a pretty little skirt or a top, or does that make it okay?
Now you're talking about getting off the boat in France or
And
Turkey?
shopping there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to. You don't want.
I don't want to give them my money.
You don't want to do any business there.
No.
I understand.
No, I
that.
don't. No.
I understand that.
No, I'll go to Rehov Yafo and give the shopkeepers in Israel my money, or go to Shuk Carmel. That's fine.
Well, now there's a problem. 9/11 is coming up
Right.
very soon.
Let's discuss that.
It
That's a
happens-
good one.
It happens to be Erev Rosh Hashanah is 9/11,
Right.
and there'll be a memorial, of course, at Ground Zero.
Right.
And there's a movement, a petition signed by over 100,000 people already.
Brilliant movement.
Asking that Zoran Mandami not be
Not
present.
to show up.
Not be present because he hangs out with people who
Condoned
yeah,
9/11.
Like what's
Piker?
What's his first name? Hassan.
I don't even want to know.
Hassan Piker, who said that
We deserved
in
it.
his opinion, America deserved
Of
9/11.
course.
3,000 people died that day just at the World
Burns
Trade
alive,
Center.
yes.
Just at the World Trade Center, and then a certain amount died in Shanksville,
that.
Pennsylvania, where another plane crashed.
And the people that died after that.
And the Pentagon had people still getting sick today.
Right.
From whatever they breathed in
Right.
In the aftermath of
all the
9/11.
fire
Sure, the firefighters. That's
fighters
included,
died, right.
That's included in the 3,000 people. And I'm sure you see, you never get enough of seeing the Tunnel to Towers ads.
They're so wonderful.
They do beautiful things by not just for people that survived 9/11, but for people that
Die in the line of
die in the
duty.
line of duty with militarily,
Help the families
police
out,
people.
right.
They pay their mortgages off when they're building new homes and new apartments for veterans that are homeless. They're doing tremendous.
Do you want to
very
discuss
nice work.
what John Katsimatidis is doing?
Yeah, well, John Catsimatidis owns a minor league baseball team. I think it's part of the Yankee organization, and they have a stadium in Staten Island. I think they're called the Ferry Hawks, if I'm not mistaken. And he's having a memorial on Thursday, the 10th of September.
Because he has control over that.
And he's going to have a memorial there. There's going to be, I don't know what's fit into the stadium, probably 10 or 15,000 people fit into the stadium. It's a relatively small stadium. But he's not inviting Zoran Mandami to participate in that memorial. So he wants
Right.
it. He doesn't.
It's hurtful to the people there.
Yeah.
They don't want
They
him
don't want
there.
him there. And I just heard this morning that
Right.
he's cut the police
The
and
speeches.
the firefighter speeches from 4 hours down to 2 hours.
So he
And-
could speak.
And he's requesting that all the speeches by the firefighters and the police officials be pre-recorded.
Right.
So he's going to be the only one that speaks live.
He who is 9 years old in Uganda when this happened, he wants to speak.
So we're not happy with him either. We're not happy with. We're not happy with Mandami.
Rightfully
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. How
He's
he
not
became
happy
mayor.
with us, and we're not happy with
I don't
him,
know.
so it's
How
even.
How did he become mayor of New York? You have any idea?
Yeah, I do.
Don't blame it. You're going to blame it on the Jews also?
Well, I'm going to blame it. They just had a huge rally the other day, Satma.
Okay.
So I would blame it on
It was a
them.
pro-Mandami
Yeah, I
thing?
think it's very troubling, don't you?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
It's not tasteful for sure.
No.
And it's...
So they get what? They're getting extra programs for it?
yeah,
Is that normal?
They're watching out. They're watching out for themselves.
I'm sorry.
And it's a troubling part of Jewish life. It's part of the complexities and the complications of Jewish life in New York.
Right.
And people are leaving New York. You know, people are moving to Florida
And Texas.
and Texas and North Carolina.
And they're leaving California, and they're running.
They're moving in big numbers,
Right.
Because nobody wants to live under Mandami, and now
Or right now it's Newsom, but we don't know who's going to be there.
that business of being taxed for having a second home, and now it's in court. It'll probably be tied up in court for the next couple of years.
Right.
It's not so pushy. It's not so easy to go ahead and tax people and tell them that they have to. They did it backwards. They sent letters to tens
To
of
people
thousands
that
of people.
own- right.
They said you have to prove that you don't owe us money.
It doesn't work that way.
Imagine-
You're innocent until you're proven guilty.
Can you imagine-
But this is the Uganda way, so, you know.
Maybe it's Uganda's a little
Yeah,
backwards.
it's Uganda.
So,
right.
can you imagine you got a letter from the IRS? Please prove to us that you don't owe us $100,000.
Right.
Okay, and if you don't prove it to us by
We're coming
September
in-
15th,
we're coming in,
we're coming
putting a
to-
lien
we're
on your
coming-
house.
We're coming to get
Right,
the money.
right.
Anyway, we're going to try to finish up. So let's just go back to where we started.
Right.
We're sorry that if the whole business of a cannabis ad in the paper offended anybody.
No, we are sorry. We are truly
Yeah,
sorry.
I said that.
Maybe we should have been more sensitive. Unfortunately,
No, we
we're
should have
very
been-
naive
we should have
about
been-
it.
Should have been more vigilant.
Right, we should have been.
And we'll
but
be more sensitive going forward. I think.
absolutely. But then again, the people that react the way they react,
It is people-
Chodesh Elul, I think they have a lot of soul searching. I think. I could be wrong.
They're people that are just they're mean people, and they
Right.
they just wait around
To lynch.
for the opportunity to take someone down,
Right.
and to
They never
you know,
build anything up. They might as well break it.
try to humiliate somebody,
Right.
or hurt somebody, or embarrass them. And I don't know what kind of thrill they get out of that. I don't think that's a nice thing to do. I don't think it's a thrilling thing to do. And I think it's a pretty horrible thing to do.
Actually, it is a horrible thing to do.
Yeah, and I think when it quiets down, people are going to think to themselves, you know, what they did.
Oh, by the way, there was a wonderful woman that wrote on that WhatsApp saying, how could you come after them like that? What right do you have after they're a community paper, they're always telling you everything and so on and so forth. And what was the reaction to the letter? Oh, and she said, by the way, she said, why would they have a dialogue with you when you're so hateful? The reaction to the person that was one of those haters was snort. I see he
I don't
has
know
a very
what does that
deep
mean?
vocabulary.
I don't know what that means.
Meaning a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, we've run into people that have terrible midos in the course of our lives, from the time we were little kids in school
Bullies.
through
Bullies,
adulthood,
right?
through adulthood,
Right.
and so on. They really don't deserve too much acknowledgement.
That's true, and that's why I'm not mentioning it.
Right. Yeah, we know who you are. We know who you are. We know where
You
you
know
live.
what?
You know, but
You have to live with yourself, and I feel bad for you. What can
yeah,
I tell you?
But anyway, I don't think that's going to happen again. It happened maybe in the 26 years that we're publishing. If you remember, we had a little incident with January 6th when someone from the community was on the lawn of the White House, not breaking into not the White House, the Capitol.
Not breaking in.
into the
They were
Capitol.
just taking a photo
But
of themselves.
Just it was the news of the day. So I took, someone sent me a photo from the
And we
lawn.
put it in.
So I put it in to cover the news, and all of a sudden I become a person
It
that's
blew up.
trying to overthrow the United States government. You know,
Right,
and
right.
it wasn't an easy thing to deal with.
No, that was very
difficult.
difficult.
You know, and I don't want to go into too much. It happened maybe one or two other times over the
Right,
26 years.
right.
But for 26 years to put out a weekly newspaper and have it only happened, 3 or 4 times where people object the way they do and they see it as an opportunity to go in for the kill. Only happened those few times. It just says that we're doing a very good job. And the paper is very popular, and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
And we'll do better and better. And if there is something that's offensive, that's why we have letters to the editor. Or if you want to get it off your chest right away, You either write us or you call us. That's all. It's so simple. We're very mature people here, and we listen to people, and people make mistakes.
Right, right. You have to admit when you make a mistake, and,
And we admit
you have
we
to
made
learn
a
from
mistake.
it. You have to learn from it and grow from it. And grow
Right.
from it. Okay, that's this edition of Between the Lines.
Our electronic,
Version of the Five
Five
Towns
Towns Jewish Times,
and
Esta Gordon.
Larry Gordon, and there's no sign behind us because we're not doing this from the office.
Right.
You have to guess where we are, but it's not important.
Not telling you.
Okay, thanks for watching, and have a good day, everyone.